Warning, the following broadcast of the Bin It Together podcast starring two of the five more uneducated members of the mediocre chart racing pop rock band Massive Wagons may contain swearing. We apologise if it causes offence. All opinions are our own.
Bin It Together.
Not like a couple of kids' TV presenters in the broom cupboard. Honestly.
It's a bit of a mess, this back, what we've got going on behind us. Obviously, those listening to the podcast won't be able to see.
No, well, you just have to take our word for it.
Just have to take our word for it. That it looks like we've, I don't know, crashed into the back of a car boot sale.
It's the back room at B&M Bargains, isn't it?
It's terrible.
Yeah. It is
well.
It is what it is.
We just thought we'd make it like everything else we do on this podcast.
An absolute, what an unprepared mess.
An absolute car crash.
Unplanned nightmare.
Okay, well, here we go. We're on episode whatever, 6, I think.
6, it is 6, yeah. Way!
Once again, casting our pods in your direction.
Yeah,
and it's Bin It Together.
Yep.
And this is the show, if you're joining us for the first time, this is the show where we take
Everyone's talking about.
things you don't like.
Get them off.
And decide whether they go in the bin or not. That's the crux of it, basically.
So it's the crux.
Let's fire straight in.
Right, let's get
the
it done.
first one. This one comes from the lovely Jonny Wood.
Jonny Wood.
You know Johnny, don't you?
We all mate Johnny.
Yeah,
What?
Johnny.
What? Jim
Yeah.
Mad Johnny.
Yeah, Jim Mad Johnny.
Jim Mad
Does
Johnny.
ultra marathons and
Ultra-
all kinds
Oh,
of
he's
stuff.
one of them,
you know.
isn't
He's an absolute nutbar
He's a machine.
when it comes to that.
I might be scared of putting whatever he says it
Lovely
bin.
guy, and his lovely Mrs. Jackie as well. She's not a nutbar.
He's lovely as well, of course. He goes without saying. He's,
Of course,
you know, he's
he's
not,
it's gonna sit here like calling him crazy.
I can't stand him. She's lovely though.
Yeah. No. He's a top lad. Top lad.
Go on. This will be interesting.
This is a good one. He sent in.
He's a man of much sense, is Johnny.
He wants to put
Yeah.
number plates,
Yeah.
like customized number plates, basically on cars, registration plates,
Private players.
private plates. You pick your plate and spell. You know, usually spell in a word like I don't know, your name or something.
T-O-5 P-O-T.
Yeah, you know.
Spot.
Yeah, basically. And here are his reasons why. He's using an example. I'm going to paraphrase here because
It's one of the first times since anybody's sent a suggestion in with any reasons. That's a good start.
I'm going to
if you're listening at home.
I'll say the
you wanna send
reasons, the
something
more
in.
examples, but I'm going to paraphrase because there's a lot of swearing in this.
Go on.
Loving the podcast, right? Yeah,
swearing.
Loving the podcast, proper funny. Thanks, Johnny.
You're in the right place, John.
People who try and spell a name or word with their car number plates by using letters as numbers and vice versa. So you know, it's basically private plates. I mean, I'm just gonna generalize this and just say private number plates.
Private plates, yeah.
So for example, James, but the A in James is a 4. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
O F off. 4 comes between 3 and 5 and doesn't start the effing alphabet off.
You don't like private plates,
yeah. So anyway, he goes on to list a few more examples. We get the point now.
few more
I get the
swear
point.
words, yeah.
So he's basically just saying it's bad grammar for starters. Well, but you're right, but that's kind of not the point of it, you know.
Is it not? Is it the fact that he doesn't like private plates, or is it the fact he doesn't like private plates that use numbers as letters? Is it private plates in general?
Well, I'm
because I know John.
Yeah.
And he has a private plate on his Mini.
Does he really?
He does, yeah. Pretty sure he does.
No way.
I'm pretty sure he does.
Well, you kind of that's a bit.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Well, if
JONWOO.
Well, you're not going to find
I
that.
think it is.
That would be an unbelievable coincidence.
I think
if he
it
bought
is.
that Mini.
I
like
think
that.
he has. I don't think I'm making it up.
Right. Well, you may have
Get in a bin, John.
You may have inadvertently shot yourself in the foot here, Johnny.
Oh, hey,
I think
gone off in his hands, hasn't it?
to be fair, he does focus on the grammar aspect.
Okay, that's what I mean. That's what I was trying to, because I don't know if his plate. I don't know. I don't know if it's like JO4.
No, he does. He does specifically mention the use of numbers in place of letters.
We're not all as rich as you, John. You know, we don't have as much. We can't afford, the correct plate. We have to make do. We have to put the little. We have to put the little screws in just to make the 4 look like an A. You put it at the bottom of the.
Yeah.
You get a black number plate screw and you just put it just below the end of the 4.
Are you allowed to do that?
No, not really. No, but that's what people do.
Say,
I mean,
yeah,
who's going to bother? Like, if there's a gap there, they'll,
Yeah.
you get so it's one pedantic copper in it that pulls you over and does you for that.
I'd be that copper. I'd be that copper.
I've got
definitely.
to be honest though. Before we even get further into this, I think they're an absolute load of shit. The biggest waste of fucking money on the planet.
Yeah. Well, this is it.
I mean, we're arguing about grammar here, and I'm arguing for it.
But it's our podcast, John. So I'm afraid
we're making the Rules.
You shot yourself in the foot here. We're now going to slag off just personalised number plates in general. Yeah, I mean,
you're earning too much. If you've got a private plate on your car, you're earning too much money.
That's exactly my. That's exactly. Oh, my phone's not on silent.
How
unprofessional!
That'll be John. That
slacking us off. This isn't live.
How dare you?
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement. I can't think. I'd struggle to think of a bigger waste of money than paying for a registration private
plate. I mean, like back in like the 80s and 90s, it was like they were a lot more exclusive, I think, and like it was kind of a sign of wealth, wasn't it? When people cared about that kind of thing, have a big fancy Jag or something, a roller.
Vanity.
Of course it is.
Pure vanity.
Of course it is. Absolutely 100% vanity, isn't it? But then it became a lot more available and a lot cheaper, and then you get your man with his Mark III Escort rolling around with his fucking plate on it that's worth more than carry-on.
DO55ER.
Trying to convince the neighbourhood he's made of money,
Well, you know what? I'm sure I'm into plenty of things that don't float other people's boat. Nothing like that. Nothing.
Check out the hour of the channel.
Nothing dodgy or kinky, but like hobbies, I guess. But I can't see any practical purpose for that other than to make you, like you say, feel like I don't know. It just doesn't compute in my head. If anything, I don't want my car to have like a visual distinguishing mark.
Your car's a piece of shit.
Well, my car is a piece of shit.
You should get a private plate on your car. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, but I'd rather blend in on the road. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know people are like, I'm not prone to bouts of road rage or anything like that, but
W4G or N5 or whatever. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's never. You see a lovely. For me, I see a lovely car and go, "Wow, look at that car!" Or a lovely bike and go, "That's really smart." And then you look round it and you see the plate and you go, "What a tosser."
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm
John's not a tosser.
To be honest, I'm struggling. You've put a whole new spin on this now.
Well, maybe it wasn't outlined. Maybe the details weren't outlined enough, and we've picked up a bone and ran with it.
But I just can't believe you'd. I can't believe you'd suggest this, Johnny. To be honest,
considering you got one on your car.
Considering you got one, that's weird.
I don't know what the grammar is like on it, but. I might be. I can't off the top of my head. I can't think. I'm sure he's got a fucking great car. As Johnny loves his minis. I don't know if you know. I've known John. I used to work when I was 16. I used to work at a motorbike shop in Canforth called Bike Spares, and the guy that ran it was good friends with John. And John used to come into the shop. Probably doesn't remember me. Maybe he does. And he used to call him Jonny Wood, and that's where I remember him from. And he was always into his minis and he's got a Mini Cooper, I think. It's beautiful Mini Cooper, or had one or whatever. But he's got this cool like camo. Have you seen it? The camo estate Mini? It's wicked, isn't it?
Camo, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. But I'm sure he's got a private plate on it.
I don't understand though. If he's got a private plate, how can you not spell your name without using?
You have to have numbers though. I'm sure they have to have numbers.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So, all right, yeah, of course, yeah. So either the zeros are zeros. Because once you couldn't have zeros.
But then that's exactly his point. That's exactly what he's trying to put in the bin. We need to clarify this.
Maybe we need to get him in.
We do. We need to
get him on the line.
I'll see if I can find out.
Should we hold judgment on whether it goes in the bin or not?
No, we're in.
No,
we're here now. We're doing this.
No, this is all right. Fine. Yeah, okay.
I'm just very confused. That's all.
Did you not know he had a private plate on his car?
I didn't know.
I hope I'm right.
Yeah, well, he better. Well, I mean,
he's going to give me a fucking knuckle sandwich, isn't he?
I'm going to make him look like a right tit now if he hasn't.
I'm sure he has.
All right. Good job he's not a big, strong, fit guy. Kick both our heads in simultaneously.
I wish I hadn't opened my mouth now.
Well,
it's made it interesting. Anyway, it's made for a funny podcast. Anyway,
well, this has been quite surreal.
It's been a revelation, hasn't it?
It would be like someone saying,
"Let's pretend he hasn't got a private plate."
Let's pretend, yeah.
For the sake of my nose, and
the last 8 minutes of
the
podcast.
8 minutes of the podcast.
I think. Right. Well, what Johnny's? We're gonna have to go back to the point then, really, aren't we?
Let's go back to the beginning.
It's basically using numbers in the place of letters on car number plates, so it's quite specific.
It don't really bother me. I mean, people do it obviously because if they really, really, really want one, and they're just not. I mean, obviously they're all different prices, aren't they? The ones that are the short, the ones with the least amount of letters or numbers in are the more expensive ones, aren't you? So you might get one R, might be worth $250,000. And then,
Yeah, well,
and then you get a longer one.
This is what I thought it was. I didn't know if using numbers in place of letters was essential, or if it was just a cheaper way to spell. Say if you wanted to spell Johnny, for example.
Yeah, I don't know.
To actually spell it with just letters will cost an absolute fortune, and the odds are some other sad prick has already done it.
Yeah,
But
not to
then you're gonna have to go. Well, I can change the O for a 0. That's obvious. I could maybe change the Y. You put a 1 there. So
yeah,
it's
well, some
Johnny
people change. Some people do the other way around. If they want numbers, they'll change letters into numbers and put a black screw in the middle of a 0. It turns it into an 8, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the screws add a new dimension to this.
See, you're manipulating the number plates.
Well, you're breaking the law at that point.
You are breaking the law.
Can't condone that.
No.
If you're
fucking advice on.
If you're gonna look like a Wally, at least do it under
spend a bit of cash, make
be
you
a
like a proper
law-abiding
Wally, yeah?
citizen as you're being a Wally.
And not a law-abiding Wally, yeah.
Right. Well, I don't know. Is this going in the bin? This is a weird one. Now, using numbers in place of letters on number plates.
I think it should go in the bin, but I think John should go in the bin with it.
Well, Johnny is suggesting it's like get in the bin or seek grammar lessons, where you will learn numbers are different to letters.
He can't. He must have. I'm sure he's got a private plate, and it must be right then. It must be
all letters.
He can't possibly send that in
and have it himself
and do it himself.
Well,
surely. I mean, he's a clever bloke.
I think there's enough here to. I want to put this in the bin.
Regardless of what, I'm not casting aspersions on Johnny's.
Honestly, we're not.
What he got up to.
Hey, I'm just jealous.
Life.
I'm just jealous that there are people out there that can spend the money on that kind of thing. Because I certainly can't.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to go in the bin, John. By hook or by crook, you've managed. I don't know how you've done it, but you've managed to completely confuse the fuck out of us. And,
it's going in,
and it's going in, right?
Get in the bin.
There's the bin.
There's the bin.
The bin button. That's
well done, John.
Come on, we need an actual button.
But I think there's a bigger issue at stake here. We need to investigate further.
We need to address it.
John. You need to send us in a photograph of your car. Our seat parked outside the Royal at Morley Sands anyway, so.
On a Tuesday? On a Tuesday morning?
I don't know, sometimes parks it there. I don't think he lives nearby.
Not suggesting he's in the pub.
No, of course not, no.
Too much to do. Too much money to earn, apparently.
Beasting unfit fork up and down
the
stairs in his gym.
Right, well, that's that one. I think we've got time for another one. We're not through that. We kind of rounded that up hastily.
I'll tell you what, I've got one or two that I've come up with.
Really? Go on then.
Do you want one from me?
Go on then. Let's have a Barry one.
Let's have a Barry one, eh?
Because now this, in a few weeks, this will just turn into what we don't like, and we'll just be sat here ranting about the crap we don't
like. All right, we're going to go with Jigsaws.
All right, Jigsaws. I'm assuming you're talking about the puzzle, not the
Black and Decker.
Not the Black and Decker.
They're pretty handy then.
Those are amazing. I got a plaque saw.
All right, yeah.
I got a jigsaw. About a year ago, and it did change my DIY life. It really did.
You got to be careful you don't saw through the fucking cable though. Don't know anyone that's done that.
You've done that, haven't you?
I've done that before, yeah. In fact, just digressing a little bit here, we was out doing some edge trimming with my dad, cutting some edges back, and he's like, "Oh, come on, bring me an edge trimmer around." He's got this big fucking thing. I was like, "It's awesome." He was doing it for about 30 seconds, straight through the wire.
Your dad did?
Yeah, that was the end of that.
Oh, I've done it with lawnmower, but never.
Yeah, jigsaws. Right, take an amazing piece of art, chop it into 1,000 pieces, and put it back together so it looks absolutely shite with lines all over it.
Yeah, well, there's different qualities of jigsaws.
But even so, they're not going to look as good as.
No.
What are you doing? You're making it. It's never look at. It's not going to look as good, is it?
No.
I know that's not the full. I know that's not the full story with jigsaws, and I know that's not the point. But that's one of the points I'm making. Is you're making a second-rate. You're making a second-rate version.
Well, definitely. If you're going to hang it on the wall, it would just be better to just buy the picture.
Buy a picture.
Buy the picture of what the jigsaw is representing. However, as an activity, then that's debatable whether it's worth doing, whether it's a kind of decent pastime or not.
I suppose it's down to personal preference, I suppose.
I don't know. There's a tiny bit of me that kind of... I've never done it, honestly. But there's a tiny bit of me that does appeal to, like, the process of it, and maybe it's like the completest kind of.
Now, the only
side of me.
thing I think that might in its favour is a fella came around to. A fella came around for the estate agents last week to price our house up, tell us what it's worth, and he saw that Lila loves doing Lego, right? And it turns out he's a Lego nut, this lad, and he's telling me all about Lego. And I said it's amazing how Lego is so popular again now, and only a few years ago they were like struggling. They were like, it's the end of Lego. Nobody wants it. The company was like.
Really?
Yes, it was, yeah.
Something?
Yeah, it was, yeah. And he said, I remember that. He said, and what turned it round was, he reckoned it was David Beckham, because David Beckham had said, or started saying that he has a bit of an OCD thing, or he has anxiety or whatever, and he sits and he can sit and do Lego.
Yeah.
And it just calms him down, like it sorts his head out. So I get that. And that's what, and kind of that association was what transformed the Lego brand.
Really? Well, I didn't know that.
It's the block from the estate agents. You might be talking all this shit. I have no idea.
I love Lego.
I don't mind Lego. Yeah, Lego's all right.
So I guess in the same, I can see.
Yeah, it's kind of different though. Lego's got its own personality on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. And is it Danish?
Don't know if that's
something like
that. Yeah. Right. Anyway, point number 2 is the boxes they come in do not need to be that big. Huge, great big boxes you could get a telly in, holding lots of tiny pieces of cardboard. If you get 2 or 3 jigsaws in your house, you're basically immobile.
Yeah.
They don't need to be that big, do they?
Well, that's the oversized packaging in general. I don't know anything about oversized packages, but unfortunately. But I think that's just a problem in general, isn't it? And you get a giant box.
But jigsaws, they just seem to come in. They could come. You could get a bag of the bag. You open it up and there's a little bag in there full of bits of thing, and the box is like.
Yeah, well,
it's selling them, innit? They just want people to fucking see.
Well, they
them.
want a nice big picture of what it is on
Shite.
the front, Wasted cardboard.
And once you've wasted 6 months turning a wonderful piece of art into an absolute disgrace, you break it up again and put it back in its giant box. You just look at the picture on the box and save yourself a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, again, it's about the doing of the jigsaw, innit? I don't think I'm the kind of person that would do one. But there is a bit of me.
Me neither.
There is a bit of me that can see why someone would like it. Generally, someone above the age of 70, perhaps. I think it's definitely something. It's a retirement activity, isn't it? It's not something.
Just do my head in. There's a jigsaw shop in Morecambe.
A jigsaw shop?
Dedicated? I
to?
walked past it the other day, and it was called something like Jill's Jigsaws or something. And I was like, never. You do not make a living just selling jigsaws. Surely, I know your shop's in Morecambe, where the rents are probably about 4p a week.
It's still,
but fucking jigsaws.
It's niche.
And I walk past it and I'll give it one of them, just to glance it, and it was floor to ceiling, wall to wall jigsaws, just jigsaws.
Right.
It was empty. There was no one in there apart from her eating her sandwiches.
Yeah,
well, I'm not surprised. Maybe she sells pornos under the counter or something.
Poor Jill. It's got to be a front, like a money laundering.
It's fucking got to be jigsaw shop. Jigsaw shop.
I heard a thing that the sweet shops, the sweet shops are like everywhere now.
Oh, they're really flash like American candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember who I've heard it from.
We're not going to get killed, are we?
It wasn't an estate agent, but it was someone of equal kind of. Like there's no relevance to
public
it.
Standing.
Public standing.
Local bank manager.
Nothing. No, I'm not. Look, I'm just saying this person was probably talking garbage.
This is all him saying this.
But yeah, someone said that they were like a front for
gangster business,
some sort of like money laundering.
Just say it right. Wow.
Yeah, money laundering.
Well, you never see any fucker in them. When we were on tour with the Darkness, we went to where was it? Cambridge, and I went in one for the first time. I thought I'll get some sweets. And ordinarily, the £1 bag of sweets are like £4 or £5. Everything in there is like triple price.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And it's like, and the place is empty. And yeah, so I would quite happily believe it.
And what? And it's not like the stock is, it can't be heavily regulated, can it? Because it's not. Someone's not going to come in and count every single bonbon you've got. If you've sold 50 bags of bonbons on a Wednesday morning in Cambridge. No one's going to come and count your bonbons, are they?
No, they're not.
Check.
No.
It's easy to. They think about this.
Have a look around.
I think about
your
this.
licorice sticks.
Might open one.
No, but they're weird, them shops, aren't they? You never see any fucker in them, do you?
Yeah.
Only people who have private plates shop in them sweet shops.
That's true.
They can afford it.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Maybe they have jigsaws as well.
They go and buy
jigsaws. What do you reckon? No. I'm not offended. Like I'm not. It's fuckhead. I don't have to go in if you don't.
Well, this is where you have to put personal things aside. I personally wouldn't I don't think...
I clearly haven't... no, it's fine.
I think
it's fine. Honestly, don't go on about it. I'm not offended.
I think they're a harmless activity.
A harmless activity. All right, fair enough. All right. Well,
Jigsaw shops, however, I think...
Jigsaws.
That's perhaps, something that...
My crusade to banish the jigsaw forever will have to carry on. It'll have to go elsewhere, won't it? I'll take it elsewhere. It's fine.
Plus, this is not a part of my life, so I don't really feel qualified.
Yeah, good for kids, though.
Are they, though?
Little kids.
I tell a lie. My kids have had them. Other than the super tiny ones that have like 4 pieces,
They're all right.
No one's going to, well, you've done that, well done. Anyone could have done that. Anyone. They're not like the most heavily played with of all the toys.
They're just a weird thing. Once you've done them and broken it up, what do you do with it? I mean, you've given up on life when you're doing a jigsaw, aren't you? I think. If you sat at a table looking out your window doing a jigsaw, and there's a magazine next to the jigsaw with the same fucking picture on it, and you sat there, and then you must doing it like this, and then you look at the picture and go, "What am I doing? Why am I making a bigger crapper version of the picture that's sat there?"
Yeah. No, I'm. You know what? I'm gonna say I wouldn't
don't get it. Maybe it's just me.
I wouldn't put it in because I think they'll help people in a lot of ways that aren't obvious. For like the point you made about David Beckham.
Oh yeah. Probably calming people down or people with no lives helps them a lot, doesn't it?
Well, people with anxieties and probably
fucking jigsaw. Bloody hell, fire, yeah. Oh, and I tell you what else. I'm allowed 4 points. I thought of another one.
Go on then.
If you fucking get to the end, what if there's a bit missing?
Well, then
I ain't counting 1,500 pieces of cardboard before I start to make sure they're all there.
That's shoddy. The problem there is just shoddy business, isn't it?
They're a band, aren't they?
Shoddy jigsaw shops.
Okay, well, that's not really.
That's just the jigsaw manufacturers being crap. And, and if you get
clutching at straws, are you? Okay, it's not going in. That's fair enough.
But I imagine there's a lot of second-hand jigsaws out, and it's much more likely you're going to get a missing piece.
The second-hand jigsaw market
it's rife with
missing jigsaw pieces. Yeah. That's why you want to get yourself down Jill's in Morecambe. All the jigsaws.
Get a fresh one. A fresh, oversized, packaged jigsaw.
Yeah.
For your pleasure. Yeah, not going in, sorry.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'll sleep tonight over that. It's fine. I've got plenty more.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
if you have a suggestion for the podcast, please let us know.
Or if you want to send something in, right? And I'm not going to say it again. Send it in with 3 reasons. Don't just send it in.
Send it in with reasons, please. We need the reasons.
Don't just send a word in or a sentence. It has to have reasons.
Bullet-pointed reasons.
3 reasons at least.
Yeah. And this also gets you thinking about it as well, because it means, like, do I really not like it, or is it just some weird...
Exactly. So you get, like, 1 or 2, and you think, what, I really don't like...
I can't think of any reasons why this should go in my bin myself, the bin myself,
3 reasons.
3 reasons, at least. But you can send more, but send them in.
We're running short on material on this podcast, because it could be the shortest podcast in history. All right.
We're not running short on material, but we're running... we get plenty of suggestions. It's just, they're either kind of not I don't know.
Not backed up.
Not backed up.
We're not backed up.
Not backed up, yeah. Not backed up, or just too obviously rubbish that we've got absolutely nothing to argue against.
Exactly.
So it needs to be something controversial, and we need reasons.
Reasons.
There we go.
Get on the case. I know you can handle it.
Right, we'll see you next week.
Speaking of being backed up, I need the toilet. See you later.